Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Cars for Heroes. You can clap, Terry, if you want. Monday. This is Military Monday. It's holiday season.
It is.
Who doesn't love the holidays? Santa?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
My favorite time of year.
Is it?
We've been doing this 27 years.
27?
I'm losing count. It's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But when we started, we just did Cars for Christmas, and we evolved as time went on into Cars for Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the very first national exposure I got. I got a call from Steve Hartman with CBS News.
Yeah.
He said, hey, we'd like to do a story. And this was in August or somewhere down there. And I said, well, you know, I'm really more of a Christmas story than an August story. And he goes, yeah, you are. And I said, do you want to do it at Christmas instead of now? And he said, okay, but if anybody else calls, any of the other major networks, then we want to be first at it. So I said, all right, I'll make sure you got it. You made the deal.
Dealio.
And we did. And this actually aired 2 days before Christmas.
Really?
So no, I didn't forget to turn my phone
what's
off.
wrong? What's happening over there? Did somebody's vibrating in your pocket.
Just to turn it off.
Who does that, by the way? Only Santa gets away with it. It's probably one of our elves calling.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would imagine
Whoever it is,
was.
we won't let them
We'll
interrupt.
mute that, will we? All right.
But, anyway, Steve called me, and he came in with his videographer, and we went to Hope House. And I guess maybe it's Independence is where the Hope House was. And we got Jackie's story, and she didn't know. She just thought she was coming for an interview, and then her eyes kind of opened up when it was Steve Hartman there with CBS. But this is how the story went. It's kind of self-explanatory. But
Well, and I got to before
my
we get
hair
there,
was still darker
I was
back
going to
then.
say,
so
wait a second. I'm going to talk about your hair a little bit, Santa.
Yeah.
my beard wasn't quite as white.
And I didn't introduce anybody here. I just we went right to this. But my name's Travis Marvin. I'm your host. This is Mr. Brian Christensen.
Correct.
He's our elf.
He's the worker.
This time of the
That's
year.
right.
He's our worker. He's only a 7-foot elf. That's weird.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that works, but it does.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just like that.
It's just like
Santa.
It's just like that. Every time I see Terry, I get
Yeah,
excited.
you do get excited. You get a little
Yeah.
warm inside, fuzzy. Let's get away from that, okay? I don't know how to segue to this, but we're gonna go. We're gonna watch this video, and it's Jackie, right?
Jackie.
That's who
It's a
is
story of Jackie.
given to. A story of Jackie here during the holidays, and we're gonna explain more after this.
A car can tell a lot about a life, especially this car.
He shattered my windshield. He kicked in my van.
He was Jackie Goodyear's ex, and she says he was so abusive, sometimes so violent.
He tore off this.
She'd take the kids, run to the car, and lock the door.
You would just sit in the
I
car
would just sit in the car.
and he'd pound from the outside in?
Yes. And I drive around with that memory and that thought. And someday I'll have a nice vehicle.
Someday, give or take, today.
There's a guy in a Santa hat with a car.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. First, let me tell you the backstory.
What's the reason you think she would really benefit from a car?
10 years ago, Terry Franz started Cars for Christmas. Terry owned a used car lot here in Kansas City, and as a promotion, he gave away some cars to people who couldn't afford them.
It's about how you can change somebody's life with something that simple.
Today, Terry gets people to donate their used cars. Mechanics volunteer to fix them up, and local charities help him find the deserving recipients. Certainly no shortage of those. This year alone, his group has given away more than 200 cars.
And what happened to the used car lot?
Well, I sold that after a couple years and didn't do real well. I do better giving them away than selling them, I guess.
Which brings us back to Jackie.
What I saw when I pulled up is, first off, a very confused look on her face, like, what is this about? Hello there. And then you see a guy like me in the driver's seat. You believe in Santa Claus?
Yeah. Yes.
Here, we got some keys for you. Give me a hug.
Jackie was nominated by Hope House, a local women's shelter that's been helping her. She hugged everyone, repeatedly,
I gotta go hug Santa again.
right down to the cameraman.
Arnie, of course, Arnie.
So grateful to finally be rid of that ugly reminder.
Absolutely beautiful.
People always ask me, why do you do it? You can take a look, and it's self-explanatory.
Thank you. From the bottom of my heart.
One footnote. Terry's not a wealthy Santa, and because he's given so much of his time and money, he's actually fallen behind on his own car payments. Way behind, like he could lose it. And that's not right. So Terry, ExxonMobil, sponsor of Assignment America, has agreed to completely pay off your loan. It's gone. Merry Christmas, Santa.
That is so nice. And the look on that little girl's face when she got into that brand new car as compared to when we...
CD player.
Yeah.
And an antenna. I mean, lots of things they weren't used to.
What a wonderful story. What a great story right before Christmas. Thank you for bringing that to us. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Holy
Thank you, Santa.
That was the beginning.
Thank you, Santa.
Yeah,
I love you, Santa.
It was a great
And
story.
he's still driving that car with no payments.
Well, and that's cool.
He was right. The reason he mentioned that is Steve and I went to lunch after we did this, and my phone kept ringing. And he said, "Who's that?" And I said, "Household." And they want my car payment. And he says, "Are you behind?" And I said, "Well, a little bit. You know, a couple, 2, 3 payments."
Who isn't? That's time, right?
Yeah. I wasn't too worried about it, you know. But anyway, there wasn't a big balance on it, so, and they did pay it off. So it was nice of them to do so. Yeah.
Well, and this is I guess an explanation or two, or a situation where, I mean, obviously, Cars for Heroes is mainly about our veterans and people that serve for our country, but during the holiday season, we kind of open up the doors, as Brian said earlier,
Correct,
and allow people to be nominated, or at least put in a request for a car, and here's why.
Well, it all started with that, and then it evolved, and it was really the Gulf War and things when that started happening. We started getting a lot of applications from these military people, and some of it was the spouses of the person serving were afraid that the one back home, the car was going to break down. They couldn't get anywhere. So, we found the need got bigger, and then we were doing more of them. And instead of doing it just during the holidays, we were doing it all year. We were doing it every week. And it evolved, and, of course, it got bigger and bigger. So we do open it back up during the month of December to everybody again, just because that's how we started. Sure. But then it goes right back to helping and I will still tell you at Christmas, half of them are still military-related or things like that. Right. But we do give the opportunity to others. And
special cases like this one.
This one was special. I mean, come on, man. I mean, she got out of that horrible memory that was getting beat up all the time. And she
can't imagine having my children having to hide in the vehicle like that from their dad, which is just insane. So,
well, they guard these women's shelters so not everybody knows where they are. And they always welcome me in. So I've been user-friendly to them.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, it's interesting, and it's fun to see. I keep in contact with a lot of them. I haven't talked to her in years, but their life improved, so it was of help.
No, that's really cool.
And we didn't, like I say, we didn't solve all their life's problems. We gave them a little break in there and let them move on.
For her,
and there's lots of great organizations like the women's shelters and people that we've worked with, different that really do good work, and sometimes you don't see that. Yeah. We see all the doom and gloom on TV, how rotten the world is and how everybody hates everything, but you don't get to see the people that sometimes it's little stuff that, we got the Kansas City Heroes, the gal that's really just helps inner city folks with something simple like they need a bed or they transport it or they find it, and she called us and says, "I'm having a knee operation. Do you guys have any power wheelchairs?" And, of course, we do.
Sure.
So we shipped one out to her. This was somebody that
she's out helping people.
She's out helping people,
but
constantly.
She couldn't get what she needed for herself to help more. And that's the first thing she said when I unloaded the chair. She goes, "Now I can get back to helping other people."
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
But there's great people out there that people don't see, and I could give you hundreds of them just in this area.
And how does somebody that's watching this and new, and by the way, thank you to our viewers and everybody that supported Cars for Heroes. How does one nominate somebody?
You can go onto our website, cars4heroes.org. Go on there and hit apply, put in all the information. If they're not military related, there's a place for a non-military application too. Mm-hmm. We get them from all over the nation. It's not an easy process. We get 15,000 of them a year.
Yeah.
But, if something's donated in Louisville, Kentucky, then we go back to the Louisville, Kentucky database, find somebody out there that we can help, and we can do it remotely.
Sure.
So there's a lot, too, that we've learned over 27 years on how to do it and do it efficiently, because lots of people have tried and then they stop.
Right.
There's some hurdles you got to go through.
Yeah.
But if you want to apply, if you want to donate something, cars, boats, trucks, motorcycles, anything, if it moves of some sort, we'll turn it into a car.
Every time. What else?
Cash.
And
if you don't have any of those
plane.
things,
We don't have a plane.
Yeah.
Talk about a plane.
And a plane.
You don't have any of those things, like we say all the time. Like, subscribe, share this content. That might get it in front of somebody that does have one of those things.
We don't need a helicopter. Brian's afraid of helicopters.
No, I'm not getting in a helicopter.
Really?
No, I've done it once, and I wasn't a fan.
Why wouldn't you do it again?
Because I think I pushed my luck just doing it once.
Is that because you're 7 foot tall, though? Your head was hitting the ceiling?
No, that wasn't it. No.
Ben? I think it was.
Yeah.
I really do. So that's great. I feel like, I think all of our viewers at this point hopefully know. If you don't, you're new. Like Brian said, just go to YouTube. You subscribe.
Correct.
At YouTube, Facebook, you follow and you like things that we do. But it's Cars, the number 4 Heroes.
You can find us in all the social medias, and if you want to hear the stories, we're on 5 radio stations that you can hear the stories just like this one.
Yeah,
that are new ones. That within a couple days they're going to get a car, and then we hold events, of course, where they can come out and see. We can give dozens of them.
Like we said, it's that time of year. We're getting ready to do our big Christmas event. So,
Terry, can you do me a favor? Can you give me like a ho 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 one time? Just
oh.
that was
one hoe.
No, that was a hoe. We got one.
I'm not a hoer.
You're not a hoer. I'm glad you're not a hoer, pal.
You can take that any way you want.
Ben, you're gonna have to cut that out, right? Like that. No, we're grateful, Terry. I'm grateful to you, Brian, as well, because Brian does a lot of work on the cars, gets everything ready. You are the genius behind the whole thing and have been for many years.
I'm not sure how we did it, but it still gets emotional to me, even looking back at a story like that. The memories when we created them is what kept us moving to where we still do it. And we're a little numb now because we're doing it every other day. But
the story's different every time.
The story's different,
every single
the
time.
reason's the same, and helping people still the same. And you never get tired of doing it. People, every time you see a TV camera, they say, well, how does it make you feel? Well, how does it make you feel?
Yeah.
You're standing there watching it.
A little numb.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But, and that's where these podcasts come in handy. And, if you listen, you get the point. At least share it with somebody. Show somebody else what we're doing. And because you'd be surprised, that's how we've grown over the years to where we're helping a lot of people now. And in a lot of different markets because they told somebody else, or they shared it. If you don't want to like it, share it. Show all your people what we do. Give them a taste of a different way of helping people in the community, that we don't just stroke a check and say, here, I hope it works out for you.
Yeah, right.
We give them the tool and say, you got to do it now. We'll give you all the support you need, but
100%,
it's up to you.
100%. Well, with that, I'm your co-host, Travis Marvin, and I sometimes sing country music with these guys. Sometimes.
And
that seems selfish of me to even say. I feel like
you never let us sing.
That we forgot. We have not mentioned that we're sitting with a country music star.
It's okay,
Travis
guys.
Marvin.
So he had to bring it up himself because we forgot that we're in the mix of
it's
a country
the holiday
music
season.
star.
Sometimes we got to talk about things like that. Everything we do.
Travis found out that Willie Nelson went on the road for like 30 years, played every bar, every night he could possibly find, and then he became famous.
Right.
Yeah. I'm only 15 years in.
15 more years.
Lord sakes. I got a few
but
broken
he's gonna
wheels.
be famous.
Yeah, we'll be famous. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm your co-host. This is Cars for Heroes podcast, Military Monday. Big shout out to all of our veterans. Thank you all so much for what you've done for our country and those that are currently serving and the families. We don't forget about your families either. So
Absolutely.
Thank you all very much. And we're going to be back next time. Make sure you come catch us on Military Monday. We appreciate you.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Adios.
That's the way we roll.